Enfield, North London, Edmonton, Ponders End, Palmer's Green. An eclectic range of diversity walk the wonderful borough of Enfield. People of all shapes, sizes and race spill into the towns that make up this London borough, that occupy the houses, businesses and schools that offer culture, colour and community. Full of green and open spaces with over 9,000 acres, Enfield is the second borough with the most open park spaces and offers an oasis in the north of one of the biggest cities in the world. On the flip side, since November 2018, Enfield has fluctuated between the highest and the third highest in knife crime. In this way, Enfield offers a dichotomy in every conceivable avenue, from the hustle and bustle of the local markets to the seemingly calming and vast parklands that offer picturesque views of Footy Hall. But with all this contrast of almost two separate worlds, the people of this borough are the only constructs that are presented in one single context. We hear so often of the rough, the violent, the underachieved population that absorb this borough, the knife crime, the gangs, and the almost never enlightened of any positive energy that could ever come from such a place. So, as there are two sides to every story, a head and a tail to a coin, I want to shed the good to this ugly and celebrate our women that uphold this community from the inside out.
Empower.
Nurture.
Fight.
Inspire.
Engage.
Liberate.
Driven.
So I'm Vanessa Wallace. I'm a para thrower, I guess is the general term. I'm European champion in shot put, and I hold the British records in shot, discus and javelin at the moment as well. I'm the first black woman to hold the European title in shot put, and I believe, but it needs to be confirmed, that I'd be the first black British woman to hold the titles in discus, shot and javelin. Alongside being an athlete, I'm a mature student with a view to hopefully changing the face of what a sports science lecturer would look like at university. That would be quite nice. I'm also a carer. I am the proud mother of 2 kittens who are giving me grey hairs. And to be honest, discovering the rest of myself every day. So the conditions I have are called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a musculoskeletal condition, and it affects the connective tissue in my body. So I'm a bit like the mum from The Incredibles, I just don't get the cute cat suit. And I also have a neurological condition called dystonia, which causes abnormal postures. So you've got a body that's trying to do strange posturing, like turning my feet in a body that's really flexible, so it really goes for it. It's quite amazing. So those are my 2 main conditions. It's interesting being a black woman with EDS because you don't tend to see many of us in literature. There's a fabulous photo of me in red with a really cute red flower in my hair on a leaflet, and I was literally one of the first black women or black person of colour actually on an EDS leaflet. So it's good to get the word out that conditions like ours go across the board. They really do.
So how did you get into athletics?
I was really lucky and went into a physio rehab programme at the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital in Stanmore. You stay there for 2 to 3 weeks. They kind of retrain you in your life. So all kind of areas, you see physios, it's quite an intensive programme. But one of the things that they do is they get you off the ward and into a sports hall. And they will set up a whole heap of different activities so that no matter what function you have, you can get involved. So they had table tennis, but they had the sides up, they had a perching stool, they had other humans there to go and pick up the ball if you dropped it. So you didn't have to worry about what impaired you, it was more about what could you do. So I tried a ting, I had a little badminton session, who knew? Tried the table tennis, and that was kind of it. I came out feeling quite inspired, so I thought I'd have a go at wheelchair basketball. Power to the wheelchair basketball people, me now got to eat. It's just not, I'm just not necessarily built to take the endurance of wheelchair basketball, but it was fun while I tried it. And then I went looking for a walking group for my mum, and looking on the Haringey website, scrolling through, and I saw wheelchair racing. And I thought, well, I'm not an athlete, And most things at the time I thought, most things for wheelchair users tended to be funded for young people. And as much as I'd love to think it, I'm slightly older than a young person, just slightly, a little bit of postage and packaging. But I clicked on it because I'm curious, and it said, come and try wheelchair racing or push your own chair better. And I thought, so you don't have to be an athlete in order to get involved. You can just come and do something for yourself. I thought, cool, come we go. When first person for the first 6 months, ended up coming here where we're filming to use the gym for the first time, and it rolled on. By the end of the year, I could fit into a racing chair, but my hip wouldn't let me do it. So I'd started a year of saying yes at this point. So when I was asked if I'd come and do some coaching instead, I said yes. Didn't know what I was doing, but I thought someone must believe something in me, so try a thing. Then I went for something called classification, which within disability sport, it's a way to make the playing field level. So it means people with different conditions could compete against each other because it looks more at how you are impaired, not what your condition necessarily is. So I went along. And then another coach, a lovely man called Steve over in Barnet, yes, I'm calling your name, came up to me and he said, Ness, you thought about being a thrower? You're built for it. You know, you're just bad breed. I thought, Steve, really? But he said, again, come to where we're filming, come down to Lee Valley and find a coach, this specific person. So because I'm doing a year of yes, I have to go. So I went, I introduced myself to Alison. She thought it was amusing what he had said. She said she would have put it slightly different. Had a couple sessions, went off and did life. Fast forward, so this was the beginning of 2013. Fast forward to, I think it was like November, December 2014. And I get a tweet from Alison, coach, saying, congrats on, I think what I was doing at the time. When are you going to come back and try throwing? You'd be a natural. And I thought, well, a natural what? Because, you know, I tried it like twice and I wasn't, you know, world record holder. And I thought, I don't know, I haven't got time, you know, just life's taking over. And then I had a conversation with a friend about women and bravery and how sometimes we can be the people who push everybody, but we then get kind of stuck and we're not necessarily getting the chance to push ourselves. So I tweeted back to Alison and said, when do you train? And she said, same as when I met you 2 years ago, I'll see you next week. Now, me being me, it didn't quite set in what I was actually signing myself up for. I thought I'd just get fit. Where did competitions come into it? Like, I had no idea. So I think we had one session before Christmas. I came back in the January of 2015, once a week, just slowly, you know, getting into things. And then by the summer, I was British champion. Tweet and a red lipstick. So now I am European champion in shot put for F34 category.
Did you always see yourself being an Olympic athlete?
Oh, the last 4 years have been a whirlwind. That's the best way to describe it. I still feel like I'm taking ownership of being an athlete. I've started from thinking I was just going to get fit to within 18 months competing at the Rio Paralympics as an elite athlete. And then not even 2 years later, coming home with a championship medal. It has changed my life. It's given me a focus and a sense of being that I never had before. I didn't know I could do this. It's amazing. It's amazing being a black woman and doing this. A black woman who lives with impairment, a black woman who has a wheelchair and uses it on a daily basis, a black woman who has conditions that aren't necessarily visibly seen as being within the black community. There's so many boxes that it ticks, and I feel honoured and proud to be able to just keep things moving. It's fantastic. The greatest thing about being able to train at Lee Valley is the fact it is about 20 minutes from where I live. I come here and I can just be an athlete. I don't have to worry about my impairments. I don't have to worry about access. I don't have to worry about attitudes. I don't have to worry about a lot of the things that in society disable people like me. I can just come here and do my thing and work on getting even better and better and better and leaving a legacy that shows people that you can do this. Because remember, I've come from nothing. I didn't do sport when I was younger. I've gotten into this as a grown woman and I am loving it. But I get to train somewhere that enables me, it doesn't disable me.
If you were to inspire a woman just like you, what would you tell her?
If I had to speak to other people like me, and that's from whichever hat that I happen to be wearing at the time, I would say the fact that you are here, the fact that you are alive, and the fact that you have the opportunity to just be you, embrace it. Because everything that makes you you is what makes everything amazing. And I love that word, amazing. It might be overused, but I love it. I would say whatever your day-to-day activities are, if you are achieving them, then you're a winner. I call it cheerleader and pom-poms. Getting up and even getting out of the house is a cheerleader and pom-pom moment. Getting your children to school, if you have them, is a cheerleader and pom-pom moment. Going to work, not going to work, just surviving and actually living in this world is cheerleader and pom-poms. Honestly, visual image, just imagine loads of glitter. It's just a wonderful situation. So I would say being you is inspiring to everybody else.
My name is Mahera and I live in Bush Hill Park, Enfield. We are at Palmer's Green Mosque, the Muslim Community Education Centre in Palmer's Green.
So Mahera, tell us what you do here at the mosque.
I'm the youth service coordinator here. That entails me trying my best to run a youth club with the help of a team of committed, passionate volunteers. And we cater different services for 8 to 14-year-olds, boys and girls, but the sessions run separately. So the boys' session happens in one place and the girls' sessions happen in another place. And then we have youth nights for our older young people, and that happens one Friday every month, again for girls and boys.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
I was brought up in Kent, and there wasn't many opportunities for young people. There was no youth clubs, there was nothing back then. Because of the area it wasn't described as a deprived area, but it was very working class, it was very tourist, but it had the working class section to it, but it was kind of neglected. So there was no funding for any youth clubs set up. So I had lots of younger cousins, and so we used to just, I suppose, make our own youth club from, our back gardens or go to the park. And, we did quite a lot of stuff as young kids. The stuff that we weren't available to, so we just did it ourselves. And I think that just inspired me to, we were making changes at the age of 14, like I was getting my 8-year-olds to come to the park and do that. So I think that kind of just stuck with me, because I didn't, at such a young age you can just suddenly think, yeah, I can do this, I'm 14, why not? Let's take them to park, let's do it ourselves if there's nothing available. And after I graduated, I did want to be a teacher, but then I went and worked in a school, quite a rough school, and I was like, I don't want to be a teacher. But I did like working with young people, so I just started volunteering with different community centres, always local communities and, for the local people, and that's where my passion just stayed. And then I eventually got different positions, and this position is the first time I've actually worked very close to my own community, so I'm really enjoying it.
Why did you start volunteering here and set up the clubs?
Well, I think it's because it's a mosque and people of faith. There's not usually youth centres, or when I was growing up, for young people to come into the mosque. You come in to pray and that, but then this is something different. This is for you to have that connection as well, that is outside the normal prayers. You come, you feel comfortable here, you feel safe here. This is a place where you can come and talk about your problems, you can talk about your faith, and there's no judgment. And for me, it's really making not just a change for the young people, but a change for myself, that I'm doing something very personal because, I'm a practicing Muslim, and actually working and trying to encourage young people to think about their deen, their faith a bit more in a fun environment is something I've never done before, and it's quite exciting.
If you had advice to empower any women, what would you give them?
Pressure on girls to, like for example, social media at the moment, with all the filters, with all the Instagram, Snapchat and all that, there's loads of pressures on the girls to focus just on their looks at the moment. Contouring, and the role models that you keep seeing are just reality role models like Kim Kardashian, But there's nothing to focus on, like, actually forget your looks, why don't you invest in your personality, invest in your skills? And that's why for me it's very important, like, you don't need to go down that typical path, especially young Muslim girls, they have that pressure of, modesty, that is when they're going to school, that's challenged with their peers and stuff. Then they've got pressures at home to make sure that you are a good Muslim, and it's quite a lot to take on, like you're battling two cultures. So for us it's very important to bring them in and talk about it, talk about those issues, not to be shy about it. Sometimes girls do struggle with wearing the hijab or not wearing the hijab, but that's fine. That struggle doesn't mean there's no reflection on you, but it's a place where you can come and we can talk. And lots of programs we do is about empowering the girls. Like we talk about different role models, current ones, in the Muslim role models, like in the past, during our Prophet's time, but then also very modern day role models like politicians and doctors, and we have speakers come in and talk to the girls about those things and showing all the different paths and opportunities available to them.
What would you say to help any other women that would want to start volunteering?
Mothers, you're bringing up your kids and that, and you see that there's something that's missing for your child, for example, or something that it covers your faith and gives the children fun. And if you don't see it happening, you can't find it, be that person to make the change. There's no one stopping you. The only limitations we put on ourselves is by ourselves, and we just need to break those limitations. And we just gotta, if you don't see something happening, then do it. And you'll be surprised how many other people are thinking the same thing, and they just need that one person to do it, and then you'll have like a team. And also just encouraging each other and building up a small network of strong people or with contacts and stuff, and sharing those ideas. And then once you share the ideas, that's one step, and the next step is actually, we've shared it, we talked about it for weeks, let's do something now, and then just not give up and just keep doing it.
Here we are at Memorial Hall in Edmonton Green, where we wanted to take a look at one of the inspiring projects in the neighbourhood that offers our young women and girls a safe place to express themselves, called Goals for Girls.
Hello, my name is Emmanuela and I'm 16 years old.
Hello, my name is Ashante and I'm 16 years old as well.
And we're at the Girls for Girls. I've been coming to the Girls for Girls for 2 years now, and I feel like it's a good environment and the vibe is good, and it's a good place for like me to trust staff. And yeah, like it's just really good. They're really helpful. We have lots of opportunities. We go on trips, and yeah, I love Girls for Girls.
I've been going here for 2 years, and I come here because, same as her, I like the vibe. I think everyone here they're very trustworthy. I can talk to them when I'm upset, and I think just like the whole environment, the way how people care for each other, the way how people talk to each other, it's like a family. Just a nice environment to be. Play games,
to go on trips, we have lots of opportunities.
We have like mediation sometimes, especially when we had our GCSEs, we had mediation because we was also stressed out. Just needed somewhere to calm down and just relax.
I think it's good for girls especially because some girls are insecure, and it's good that everyone like together and they have like the other girls with them, not only like girls and boys, it's people that everyone can like relate to.
Yeah, I think it's good because we all have something in common, like we all can talk about something that's going on in our lives, and you know that like some stuff that boys just can't understand is for girls, so only the girls can understand stuff. That's why I think it's a good place. These people here make me comfortable, like I can say anything around them. I would suggest them to come here.
I'll tell them as well that it can like, relieve like stress. Like if you're feeling down, you can come here and talk to people and they care for you. And if you don't have that like at home as well, you can come here and talk to the staff.
My name's Dana. I'm at Memorial Hall. I live in Edmonton. I've been here since I was 12. That was like in secondary school. It's a fun experience. I think loads of girls should experience coming here and making friends. I've made like loads of friends being here as well. It's important to have a space like this because you can have fun, come off the streets really, and at least like be involved with different kinds of ethnicities, groups, different kind of girls. I live local, it's like maybe 5 minutes. Plus I like playing football, so I can play football in the meantime while I'm here. Plus it's something to do because I'm always at work normally. But I think in a way it's a good thing to come out of the house and then enjoy company with a different age as well.
My name's Christine Bloomfield and I'm a sprints coach for 60 up to 400 metres. I enjoy working with young people, I enjoy developing them, making sure that they achieve their potential. I used to run for Great Britain in the 100, 200 and 60 metres and the 4x100 metres. I'm a teacher, I've coached secondary school for 25 years and that's given me so much. I was raised in children's homes and foster families. I've been living on my own since I was 15 and a half, so I've had quite a vast experience as an individual. So all of those experiences have come into my coaching. I started off working with Christine Urugu and Annika Honora, with Lloyd Cowans. I decided that I wanted more from coaching, and so I decided to coach on my own. It was a massive decision for me because obviously I'd only been coaching for 5 years. I've coached grassroots level athletes and I've coached elite athletes. I enjoy the process of developing people, not just physically on the track, but developing them mentally, making sure that they're successful in their lives.
Like everybody has something really good to say about her all the time. And she like takes us in like her children, like she'll take us places, and she looks after us very well, and it's always like a really good laugh when we're here anyway.
Yeah, she's very positive as well.
The reason why I think it's important that I coach is because I was given so much as a young athlete, but so much by male coaches, and I just felt that as a female, I needed a female coach, and I didn't have that. So me coming into athletics and being a female coach was vitally important. But I don't just want them to be successful on the track. I want them to be successful in life. Once they finish athletics, I want them to be people that people can look up to. We're not all going to be doing degrees. We're not all going to be successful academically. We're not all going to be successful on the track. We're not all going to be Jessica Ennis's, Denise Lewis's, Montell Douglas's. But we can still be successful in our own right, and I believe everybody can achieve.